Watching the Highlight Zone with WANE 15 Sports Director Glenn Marini. Local sports coverage you can count on.
It's the Highlight Zone. Yeah, the Highlight Zone. It's the Highlight Zone. Yeah, the Highlight Zone. It's Friday night. We on the Highlight Zone.
We lost to them 2 years ago in the sectional championship, so we're really just looking to get our get back.
They're going to bring it. We're going to bring it. We're going to be ready for them.
Just one step further to get in that state championship ring.
They think they could beat us because, you know, we're a different conference than them.
They just seem to want it a lot more this year. You know, we're excited for that.
It always means a little bit more in October and November, and we're here, so it should be a blast.
It's the Highlight Zone. Yeah, the Highlight Zone. It's the Highlight Zone. Yeah, the Highlight Zone.
The road to state starts with sectionals, and that means we got Highlight Zone action tonight, and that is the case here on this Week 10 edition of the Zone. While Class 6A and 5A get a breather tonight, everybody else, yeah, it's all in the pool. We're trying to get their second win to start a playoff run here in the unofficial second season. We start with two programs that know a thing or two about winning in the postseason. Josh A. and joining you now with your Highlight Zone Game of the Week. Josh.
Yeah, Glenn. Well, last week the ring was the thing for Bishop Dwenger. The Saints marching on to win their first SAC victory belt for the first time since 2018. Leo, meanwhile, they're coming off a 7-2 regular season, very solid record overall. Their 19th straight winning season. So without further ado, Bishop Dwenger at Leo, your Highlight Zone Game of the Week. Now, you might recall these two actually meeting a couple of years ago in the sectional championship game. Leo winning that one handily 31-13 at Lions Field. And yeah, you can bet that the Saints, they did not forget that outcome from a couple of years ago. First quarter, that is Bishop Dwenger blocking a potential go-ahead field goal, and that keeps this game scoreless after one. Second quarter, Houston, we don't have a problem. That is Houston Ellinger scoring from 12 yards out. Lucas DeWin tacking on a 49-yard field goal. I would unofficially call it a 50-yarder. But hey, the Saints taking a 10-0 lead heading into halftime, and those Saint fans feeling good. They're wearing red because they could smell some blood in the water. Third quarter, Henry Jordan scoring from 14 yards out. And it's a 3-score lead, 17-0, Bishop Dwenger with a commanding lead. Now, you just saw Jordan take care of business on the ground. How about through the air? Next Saints series, it's Jordan to Carter Zent, zooming in from 43 yards out to make it a 24-0 Dwenger lead. Now, at this point, the Purple Pride of Leo just playing for a little bit of pride. And just before the end of the game, that is Titus Stoller scoring from 9 yards out to end the shutout bid. But the Saints of Bishop Dwenger are marching on with a 31-7 win over Leo.
It's just dedication, you know. We had those leaders that were seniors 2 years ago, and this is for them. I mean, it hurt 2 years ago to end our season here, so to be able to get a win and come out of here victorious feels great.
Yeah, O-line did great, receivers did great. I just gave them the ball and they did the work for me. And the energy is important. Everybody brought it. Linemen brought it. Running backs brought it. Everybody brought it, and that just kept the momentum going.
We got some things we got to work on, but as good as we were tonight, we can still do a lot of things better. So we get a chance to get back to work tomorrow, so we're looking forward to that.
The 7-3 record, while Dwenger will face the winner of Columbia City against DeKalb next week in the sectional semifinals. Glenn, take it away.
All right, speaking of DeKalb, the Barons coming off a win against Leo in Week 9. Barons hosting a dangerous Columbia City squad. Actually, you know what? DeKalb won 28-7 over Columbia City in Week 5. They remembered that. It's DeKalb's defense, though, here in the second quarter. Bo Meinhardt and Eli Schwab meeting at the quarterback. Columbia City, though, up 7-0 in the second. How about 14-0? Trace Parrish, the man on the ground for Brett Fox this season. He's in, and that makes it 14-0. And then the defense taking over for Columbia City. Gavin Shepard would come up with the fumble recovery here, and it's a revenge victory for Columbia City. Wow. They knock off the DeKalb Barons in Waterloo. Your final 16-10 Eagles victorious. Other half of the 4A Sectional 19 bracket, we got East Noble ranked #1 in the state in 4A this week. They looked every bit of it. First play from scrimmage, they give it to the freshman, and Austin Phillips, he gone. 49 yards on the first play from scrimmage to make it 7-0 East Noble. He had 124 yards on the ground. East Noble doing it with defense then. You're going to see Cohen Quake. Ball barely hits the turf, and he's right up on it. Johnny on the spot as Quake with the fumble recovery. East Noble in great field position. They take advantage. Phillips from 5 yards out, and East Noble rolls over New Haven 48-12 in Kendall, Vegas. At Jack Weicker Stadium, we got Southside hosting Wayne. A win by the Archers would give them 3 wins on the season, their most since 2013. And here's how you do it. Opening kickoff, Chris Moon. This is a bad moon rising all the way to the house. That is how you start a playoff game. 7-0 Southside right out of the gate. They were not done. This offense looking good. Robert Murphy III to Kion Beasley. We're used to seeing Beasley do it on the defensive side. That's a touchdown, though. Makes it 14-zip. Then it's Moon again. And he would find the end zone on the final play of the first quarter. You heard the horn go off. Southside moving on 52-14 to get East Noble next week. 4A Sectional 20 last year, Huntington North winning its first sectional title since 1993. The Vikings looking to start another playoff run on the road all the way at Logansport. Second quarter action, the Berries up 7-0, but Jimmy Linker, slinks his way down the sidelines. Linker goes 58 yards for the punt return and a touchdown. 7-6 at the half, though the Vikings down by 1. They were up now 12-7 in the fourth, but Logan's Elliot Baldini with the touchdown right there, and that's your game-winning score as Loganport knocks out the Vikings 15-12. 4A Sectional 18, 1-8 Wawasee, 2-7 Northridge. Pick it up in the middle of the first quarter. This is Warriors QB Johnny Zachary. He rolls out and he is in the end zone for a touchdown. A little bit later, though, it's the second quarter. 7-zip Wawasee, and this touchdown, would give Northridge an eventual victory as they would tie it up with that score, and Northridge beats Wawasee 35-26. In 3A, Luers making it to state last year. The Knights opening at Delta this season. We made the drive all the way to Muncie to see the Knights do their thing, and they were in fine form. We pick it up in the first. 4th and 5. From the 32, they go for it. Rory Kelly off a perfect strike from quarterback Tommy Reichert, and that makes it 7-zip Knights. They wouldn't be done later in the first. These guys happy they made the trip as well. Brady Kraus booting this one from 41 yards. It's in. Knights up 10-zip, and they would put it on the Eagles. How about some defense? You're going to see Braden Migrant come up with the sack lunch right here as Luers goes down to Muncie and beats Delta 38-7. So who will Luers get next week? We got the winner of this one, Norwell at Heritage. First quarter action. The big game coming up here from E.J. Morgan, one of those young ascending studs for Norwell. They would get a field goal on that drive with the Knights to go up 3-zip. Second quarter action. Heritage trying to make something happen. They get it to their big receiver, Lonte Castle. He picks up some yardage here, but the Patriots wouldn't score on that drive. And then Norwell gets the ball back. They would. Hunter Kurtz. Only a freshman is what the roster says. Apparently, they like him too. He gets into the end zone, and Norwell knocks off Heritage 24-6. The Knights victorious over the Patriots. Moving on, we got Belmont looking to snap a 41-game losing streak. Could the Braves do it at home against Jay County? That's the question. Well, Eddie Fields and Jay County, they had other ideas. This is second quarter, tied 0-zip. That was Leighton Brown with a long run. Later on the drive, Nicholas Laux gets into the end zone on the short TD plunge, and it is 7-zip Jay County. The Patriots, making the drive from Portland, and they came to play. You're going to see Leighton Brown with a touchdown run here to make it 14-zip, and Jay County adds to Belmont's tough luck as Jay County wins 35-zip. Last stop in 3A Sectional 28, we got Mississinewa at Oak Hill. Ole Miss, ranked 8-1, ranked 6th in the state in 3A. Third quarter, it was just 7-zip Mississinewa when Levi Crandall finds his way into the end zone to make it 14-zip, and Mississinewa could be a team to be reckoned with in the future in 3A as they win it 21-7 against the Golden Eagles. 3A Sectional 26, West Noble ranked 13th in the state this week. The Chargers, the NECC Big Division champs, they were hosting Concordia. First quarter, it's Trey Schischler, the quarterback, with a QB keeper. He is in to give the Chargers an early 6-zip lead. Monty Mayhorter liking that. He would like this. How about Trevor Steele stealing the ball from that offense of Concordia. The interception from Trevor Steele sets up West Noble nicely, and you'll see Zamir Barnes Bridges. 3 names, 6 points as Barnes Bridges takes this one into the end zone. West Noble rolls over the Cadets 42-zip in the Marshmallow capital of the world. So who do the Chargers get next? We got 7-2 Tippy Valley at 5-4 Angola on paper. This one looked like a good one coming in third quarter. It was. It's 14-6 Angola when Hawk Hasselman, Mr. Angola himself, in for the touchdown from 1 yard out, and the Hornets up 21-6. Now fourth quarter, Tippy Valley, after a big drive, 4th and goal from the 5, trying to get back in this ball game, and Dallas Davidson and Alex Thomas say, The defense stands tall for the Purple Nation as Angola wins over Tippy Valley 21-6. Last year's sectional champ Garrett on the road at Fairfield. The Railroaders actually beat the Falcons in overtime in the regular season, and this one was evenly matched as well. Second quarter, no score. Fairfield trying to get something going with a fake punt, but Chase Egley says, you're not going to do that tonight. He stops Reese Miller, and we're still tied at 0. Ensuing possession, Caden Bush looking for some yardage in the air. He is picked off by Jensen Garcia, and again, that keeps this at 0-0. Defensive theme in this one. Both these teams kind of known for their defense this year. You're going to see Reese Miller come up with the interception here for Fairfield. This was 0-0 at the half, but Garrett goes on to win by a final of 7-0. The Railroaders advance to face Lakeland, who beat Woodland by a final of 32-0 tonight. Well, that does it for our local 3A and 4A sectionals, but coming up after the break, we're going to talk some 1A football. After making it to semi-state last season, can the Starfires catch fire again in the playoffs? We're going to head to Bern to find out about that. Plus, 8th-ranked Bluffton travels to NECC Small Division champ Churubusco. We got a 2A tilt that came down to the wire in Turtletown. We'll also check in on your reigning 2A state champs, Adams Central, as they hosted at the landing strip. We got all that and much more on the Highlight Zone.
This is Busco Football.
And welcome back to the Highlight Zone.
An excitable crew out there. Hey, the past few years, Turtletown has been more like Titletown. Yes, Churubusco winning the last 2 NECC Small Division championships. Meanwhile, in the Parlor City, Bluffton has been banking wins. The Tigers 8-1 heading into a 2A sectional 35 game against Churubusco in Turtle Vegas. Winners of this one likely facing Adams Central in the second round. How about this fourth quarter action? Busco trailing, but Grant Sievers gets in for the touchdown. 2-point conversion good, and with 3 minutes left, Busco now leads 38-31. However, yes, Bluffton gets the football back, and they do some work here. It's Axton Best for A.J. Strevler, 32 yards on that strike with under 2 minutes to go. That makes it a 38-37 game. So does Coach Kunkel go for the PAT, the tie, and maybe go to overtime, or does he gamble and go for 2? Well, he is gambling, and he's rolling sevens. Touchdown or 2-point conversion, good right there as Best finds Strevler, and this one full of all kinds of drama as Bluffton goes to Busco and wins it on that conversion, 39-38.
Well, being a senior, this could have been my last game. It was scary, but I trusted the guys to come out and get the W with us, and I'm proud of all of them. It just shows how great of a group of guys we have here.
It starts all the way at the bottom, and it also starts all the way at the top. Everybody on this roster has grit, has determination to win, and follows the leaders. We're all leaders. We all follow each other, and that's what happens when you do that.
You got to enjoy things like this. I mean, this was an incredible atmosphere. 2 really, really good teams. You know, like I said, we made a few more plays than them down the stretch to come out on top. But, you know, enjoy this one because these don't come around all the time.
At Middick Field, Adams Central ranked number 1, the reigning 2A state champs, hosting Central Noble. First quarter action, Adams Central getting to work early. Thomas Laughlin. Remember that kind of 3-headed group that they have in the running game. 7-yard touchdown run to make it 7-zip Jets. Later, the quarterback Jamison Roach finding Braylon Reber, one of his favorites. That's a 12-yard touchdown, 14-zip AC. Adams Central not done. It's now 21-0. You'll see Vance Miller 23 yards on the touchdown scamper, and AC looking every bit like the reigning state champ. They will get Bluffton next week as AC rolls 70-13. Other half of the 2A sectional 35 bracket, the Blazers of Eastside looking for their 6th win in a row, 7-2 Eastside, hosting 1-8 Whitco and Job Richmond. Man, the book of Job is being written in Butler. Look at that as he avoids the defense and goes in 7-0 Eastside up, and then you're going to see Eastside go to the passing game. It's Job looking for Jake Worsler. That's a big pickup. They would cash in later on the drive in the air again. You'll see Richmond finding Sam Pittman for the touchdown to make it 14-zip. Eastside up early and never looks back. Eastside rolls 48-0. 6-3 Manchester taking on Prairie Heights. The Squires averaging 32 points a game. Not to be trifled with, especially at home. Second quarter, Eli Metzger from Dallas Martin. It's a thing of beauty, a little pitch and catch to make it 34-zip Squires. Then in the third, Landon Bean would go in and make it 42-0, and that is your final as the Squires victorious 42-zip. South Adams finally cracking the top 10 of the 1A state poll this week. We've been calling for it all year. The 10th ranked Starfires opening sectionals at home against Madison, Grant West, Somerset, up and in, and that makes it 14-6 South Adams with about 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. A lot of offense in this one. It's Blade Harris for the Argyles, and with a name like Blade, he's got a knife through the defense. Blade Harris for the Argyles with the kickoff return for a touchdown. 2-point conversion was good, and that knots the game at 14, but South Adams starting to put on the afterburners after that. It's West Somerset, the junior, into the end zone again, and South Adams is moving on. Starfires 45, Madison Grant 28. From 1A sectional 44 to 1A sectional 43, a win against Blackhawk in Fremont would have its 7th win of the season, but Chip Bennett, chip off the old block with a first down gain for Blackhawk Christian there in the first quarter, but it's tied at 0. Later you're going to see Bennett do it again, picking up some yardage. He's been a key for Blackhawk Christian this season, but the Braves would not score on the drive. Coming the other way, you're going to see Fremont's Jared Laughlin. We stayed for a quarter and a half of this game, and it was scoreless. And the final score ends up being 48-10. Fremont wins it. Oh, I don't know. Just didn't happen when the cameras were there. Congrats to the Eagles on the victory, though. At Wilbur Dawes Field, Northfield hosting North Miami. The Warriors beating the Norse 44-15 in week 1. Would this be closer? Well, little touchdown action here from Cooper Pattison, and that's in the first quarter to make it 6-zip North Miami. They weren't done. It's Ryan Meredith's turn, and Meredith also hits pay dirt, and North Miami takes this one over Northfield. It's North Miami 47 and the Norse just 6. Southern Wells, making some real progress this year with Coach Blake Blaker. The Raiders on the road facing 6-3 Triton. Second quarter, it's Trey Slush and a 6'6" tight end, Josh Albach, one of the best tight ends in the area. But the Raiders were down 30-7 at the half, and Southern Wells does fall in this one by a final of 60-28. Stay tuned. Your Gem of the Night is coming up next on the Highlight Zone.
We're Northfield. You're watching the Highlight Zone. Don't go anywhere.
We're the Bishop Luers Knights. Welcome to sectional night. Stay tuned for the Gem of the Night.
Here at Peter Franklin Jewelers, we are proud to support local high school athletics. That's why we continue to sponsor the Highlight Zone on WANE TV.
Congratulations to this week's winner of the Gem of the Night, presented by Peter Franklin Jewelers.
This week we got to go back out to Turtletown. We saw it earlier in the show, but man, when you see it again, really watch it, it is an amazing catch considering how big of a play this was. 1:53 left. Bluffton down 2 to Busco. They go for 2 and go for the lead, and they get it. And the eventual win, A.J. Strevler from Axton Best, and Daddy Kunks rolling the dice and is rewarded. That reward, a game against Adams Central, a rematch. I know they're looking forward to it in the Parlor City. That is your Peter Franklin Jewelers Gem of the Night, A.J. Strevler from Axton Best of Bluffton. Finally, how about the Komets in action? They were looking to stay undefeated on the season as they made their way to Cincinnati to take on the Cyclones. First period at Cincinnati's Marco Sikic with a goal to beat Nathan Day. That makes it 1-0 Cincinnati. Second period action, Justin Vive. Yeah, we remember that one season he did wear a Komets uniform, but he was doing some damage against the K's there to make it 2-0 Cincinnati. In the third, Alex Aliardi tied for the team lead in goals last season with Jack Dugan. He gets the goal there to make it 2-1, but the Komets would get no closer as they fall for the first time this season, a 3-1 loss to the Cyclones on the road. And next up, they don't play again this weekend. They don't play until Wednesday when they travel to Iowa for 3 games against the Heartlanders Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Well, that is going to do it for this sectional edition of the Highlight Zone. We'll have sectional semifinals next Friday right here on WANE TV on Fort Wayne's #1 sports show. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Friday night.